Which of the following best describes the primary function of the sympathetic nervous system? A. Regulates bodily functions at rest. B. Prepares the body for fight or flight responses. C. Facilitates digestion and energy storage. D. Controls voluntary muscle movements. The correct answer is B. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for preparing the body for stressful or emergency situations, commonly referred to as fight or flight responses. The parasympathetic nervous system primarily influences which of the following physiological processes? A. Increase heart rate. B. Dilate bronchioles. C. Stimulate digestion. D. Release adrenaline. The correct answer is C. The parasympathetic nervous system promotes rest and digest activities, which include stimulating digestion and conserving energy. Which cranial nerve is responsible for controlling the muscles of facial expression? A. Optic nerve 2B, trigeminal nerve 5C, facial nerve 7D, vagus nerve 10. The correct answer is C. The facial nerve, number 7, is responsible for the movement of facial muscles and is crucial for facial expression. The lumbar and sacral plexuses arise from which part of the spinal cord? A. Cervical region. B. Thoracic region. C. Lumbar region. D. Sacral region. The correct answer is C. The lumbar plexus and sacral plexus arise from the lumbar region of the spinal cord, providing nerves to the lower limbs. Which of the following statements about spinal nerves is true? A. They only carry motor information. B. They are mixed nerves carrying both sensory and motor information. C. They originate solely from the cranial nerves. D. They do not exist in pairs. The correct answer is B. Spinal nerves are mixed nerves, meaning they carry both sensory and motor information to and from the spinal cord. Which structure in the peripheral nervous system is primarily responsible for the transmission of sensory information to the central nervous system? A. Efferent neurons. B. Afferent neurons. C. Interneurons. D. Glial cells. The correct answer is B. Afferent neurons are responsible for transmitting sensory information from peripheral receptors to the central nervous system. What is the function of the autonomic nervous system? A. Regulates voluntary movements. B. Controls involuntary bodily functions. C. Processes sensory information. D. Coordinates muscle contraction. The correct answer is B. The autonomic nervous system controls involuntary bodily functions such as heart rate, digestion, and respiratory rate. Which neurotransmitter is primarily associated with the sympathetic nervous system? A. Acetylcholine. B. Norepinephrine. C. Dopamine. D. Serotonin. The correct answer is B. Norepinephrine is the primary neurotransmitter of the sympathetic nervous system, mediating the fight or flight response. What type of neurons form the majority of the autonomic nervous system? A. Motor neurons. B. Sensory neurons. C. Interneurons. D. Visceral neurons. The correct answer is D. Visceral neurons, which are part of the autonomic nervous system, innervate smooth and cardiac muscle, as well as glands. The phrenic nerve is crucial for which physiological function? A. Facilitating digestion. B. Regulating heart rate. C. Controlling diaphragm contraction. D. Managing limb movement. The correct answer is C. The phrenic nerve controls the diaphragm, which is essential for respiration. What structure connects the left and right hemispheres of the brain, allowing communication between them? A. Corpus callosum. B. Thalamus. C. Cerebellum. D. Limbic system. The correct answer is A. The corpus callosum is a thick band of nerve fibers that connects the left and right hemispheres of the brain, facilitating interhemispheric communication. Which type of reflex involves the spinal cord and does not require input from the brain? A. Cranial reflex. B. Somatic reflex. C. Autonomic reflex. D. Spinal reflex. The correct answer is D. A spinal reflex is a quick, involuntary response to a stimulus that occurs without involving the brain. Which of the following spinal nerves contributes to the formation of the brachial plexus? A. C5 C8 and T1B. L1 L4C. S1 S4D. C1 C4. The correct answer is A. The brachial plexus is formed from the spinal nerves to T1, which innervate the upper limb. The enteric nervous system primarily regulates which of the following? A. Heart rate. B. Muscle contraction. C. Gastrointestinal functions. D. Respiratory rate. The correct answer is C. The enteric nervous system is a complex network of neurons that governs the function of the gastrointestinal tract. Which of the following cranial nerves is responsible for the sense of smell? A. Optic nerve 2B, olfactory nerve 1C, vestibulocochlear nerve 8D, trigeminal nerve 5. The correct answer is B. The olfactory nerve, number 1, is responsible for our sense of smell. It transmits sensory information from the nasal cavity to the brain. Which neurotransmitter is predominantly released by postganglionic neurons of the parasympathetic nervous system? A. Acetylcholine. B. Norepinephrine. C. Serotonin. D. Glutamate. The correct answer is A. Acetylcholine is the primary neurotransmitter released by postganglionic neurons of the parasympathetic nervous system, influencing various organs. What is the primary role of the somatic nervous system? A. Regulating involuntary muscle movements. B. Controlling voluntary muscle movements. C. Managing autonomic functions. D. Facilitating reflex actions. The correct answer is B. The somatic nervous system is responsible for controlling voluntary movements of skeletal muscles. Which structure is responsible for the coordination of voluntary movements and balance? A. Cerebrum. B. Thalamus. C. Cerebellum. D. Brainstem. The correct answer is C. The cerebellum is crucial for coordinating voluntary movements and maintaining balance in posture. The sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system arises from which spinal cord region? A. Cervical. B. Thoracic and lumbar. C. Sacral. D. Coccygeal. The correct answer is B. The sympathetic division primarily arises from the thoracic and lumbar regions of the spinal cord, also known as the thoracolumbar division. What is the function of the myelin sheath in peripheral nerves? A. Facilitates neurotransmitter release. B. Increases the speed of nerve impulse transmission. C. Acts as a protective barrier. D. Provides energy to the nerve cells. The correct answer is B. The myelin sheath insulates nerve fibers, significantly increasing the speed of electrical impulse transmission along the axon. Which cranial nerve is involved in the sense of hearing? A. Optic nerve 2. B. Facial nerve 7. C. Vestibulocochlear nerve 8. D. Olfactory nerve 1. The correct answer is C. The vestibulocochlear nerve, number 8, is responsible for hearing and balance, transmitting auditory information from the inner ear. Which of the following accurately describes the role of the vagus nerve? A. It regulates heart rate and digestion. B. It controls eye movements. C. It is responsible for facial sensations. D. It coordinates motor functions of the limbs. The correct answer is A. The vagus nerve, also known as cranial nerve X, plays a crucial role in regulating autonomic functions, including heart rate and digestive processes. Which spinal nerve root is primarily responsible for sensory input from the skin? A. Dorsal root. B. Ventral root. C. Lateral root. D. Medial root. The correct answer is A. The dorsal root of a spinal nerve contains sensory fibers that transmit sensory information from the periphery to the central nervous system. The role of glial cells in the peripheral nervous system includes which of the following? A. Transmitting nerve impulses. B. Providing structural support. C. Releasing neurotransmitters. D. Generating action potentials. The correct answer is B. Glial cells provide structural support and protection for neurons in the peripheral nervous system. Which type of reflex arc involves a direct connection between sensory and motor neurons? A. Polysynaptic reflex. B. Monosynaptic reflex. C. Autonomic reflex. D. Cranial reflex. The correct answer is B. A monosynaptic reflex arc involves only one synapse between a sensory neuron and a motor neuron, such as in the knee-jerk reflex. What is the primary function of the gray matter in the spinal cord? A. Conducting nerve impulses. B. Processing and integrating information. C. Providing myelin insulation. D. Storing neurotransmitters. The correct answer is B. Gray matter in the spinal cord is primarily involved in processing and integrating information, as it contains the cell bodies of neurons. Which of the following describes the location of the sympathetic chain ganglia? A. Adjacent to the spinal cord. B. Near the heart. C. Within the brain. D. In the adrenal glands. The correct answer is A. The sympathetic chain ganglia are located adjacent to the spinal cord, forming a chain along each side. Which of the following structures is not part of the central nervous system? A. Brain. B. Spinal cord. C. Peripheral nerves. D. Brainstem. The correct answer is C. Peripheral nerves are part of the peripheral nervous system, while the brain, spinal cord, and brainstem are part of the central nervous system. Which type of muscle is primarily innervated by the somatic nervous system? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Glandular tissue. The correct answer is C. The somatic nervous system innervates skeletal muscles, which are under voluntary control. Which neurotransmitter is released by sympathetic preganglionic neurons? A. Norepinephrine. B. Epinephrine. C. Acetylcholine. D. Dopamine. The correct answer is C. Sympathetic preganglionic neurons release acetylcholine, which acts on postganglionic neurons in the sympathetic nervous system. Which of the following is a characteristic of the parasympathetic nervous system? A. Prepares the body for action. B. Promotes energy conservation. C. Increases blood pressure. D. Stimulates the adrenal glands. The correct answer is B. The parasympathetic nervous system promotes energy conservation and recovery, often referred to as rest and digest functions. Which nerve is commonly referred to as the funny bone? A. Radial nerve. B. Ulnar nerve. C. Median nerve. D. Sciatic nerve. The correct answer is B. The ulnar nerve is commonly referred to as the funny bone because of the tingling sensation experienced when it is hit at the elbow. Which of the following spinal nerves is involved in the innervation of the diaphragm? A. B. T1. C. L3. D. S8. The correct answer is A. The phrenic nerve, which arises primarily from the spinal nerve, is responsible for innervating the diaphragm. Which of the following cranial nerves is responsible for controlling the muscles of mastication? A. Facial nerve. B. Trigeminal nerve. C. Glossopharyngeal nerve. D. Vagus nerve. The correct answer is B. The trigeminal nerve, also known as the fifth cranial nerve, controls the muscles involved in mastication, which is another word for chewing. The dorsal root ganglion contains cell bodies of which type of neurons? A. Motor neurons. B. Sensory neurons. C. Interneurons. D. Efferent neurons. The correct answer is B. The dorsal root ganglion contains the cell bodies of sensory neurons, which transmit sensory information to the spinal cord. What is the primary effect of the sympathetic nervous system on the digestive system? A. Stimulates digestive activity. B. Inhibits digestive activity. C. Has no effect. D. Promotes absorption of nutrients. The correct answer is B. The sympathetic nervous system inhibits digestive activity as part of the fight or flight response, redirecting energy away from digestion. Which spinal nerve is responsible for innervating the muscles of the upper arm? A. T1B. C. L1D. S8. The correct answer is B. The spinal nerve contributes to the brachial plexus, which innervates the muscles of the upper arm. What type of feedback mechanism is primarily involved in the regulation of autonomic functions? A. Positive feedback. B. Negative feedback. C. Reinforcing feedback. D. Self-regulating feedback. The correct answer is B. Negative feedback mechanisms are primarily involved in the regulation of autonomic functions, helping maintain homeostasis. The sympathetic nervous system has which of the following characteristics? A. Uses long preganglionic and short postganglionic fibers. B. Uses short preganglionic and long postganglionic fibers. C. Is active during rest and digestion. D. Controls voluntary movements. The correct answer is B. The sympathetic nervous system typically has short preganglionic fibers and long postganglionic fibers, facilitating widespread responses. Which cranial nerve is responsible for regulating the heart rate? A. Vagus nerve XB, trigeminal nerve VC, accessory nerve CD, hypoglossal nerve 12. The correct answer is A. The vagus nerve, also known as cranial nerve X, plays a key role in regulating heart rate by transmitting parasympathetic signals to the heart. Which type of receptor is primarily involved in the detection of pain? A. Mechanoreceptors. B. Thermoreceptors. C. Nociceptors. D. Chemoreceptors. The correct answer is C. Nociceptors are specialized sensory receptors responsible for detecting painful stimuli. Which of the following structures is not part of the peripheral nervous system? A. Cranial nerves. B. Spinal nerve. C. Nerve plexuses. D. Cerebral cortex. The correct answer is D. The cerebral cortex is part of the central nervous system, while cranial nerves, spinal nerves, and nerve plexuses are part of the peripheral nervous system. What is the role of the enteric nervous system within the peripheral nervous system? A. Regulating blood pressure. B. Controlling reflexes. C. Regulating gastrointestinal function. D. Controlling muscle contractions. The correct answer is C. The enteric nervous system regulates gastrointestinal functions and operates independently of the central nervous system.